for your yoga, sharing your yoga practice. It's lovely to have all your energy in the room, and we're starting off a new fresh month for July. So hopefully we can tune into some new fresh positive energy for the month. Let's start in a child's pose. So you may have a bolster or something like what I've got, or you can just go into child's pose, just resting in there, just coming in. So today's yoga practice, we're going to have quite an energetic asana, and we're going to focus on some heart opening and some hip opening with a yoga nidra to restore us at the end. As you're in child's pose, noticing the floor beneath you, the ground supporting you in your practice, noticing the ground underneath your shins and the tops of your feet and underneath your hands. Letting your body feel heavy, surrendering to the energy of the earth. Noticing your breath and scanning your body, looking for any tension or stiffness. And when you find it, exhaling into that area to let it go. And then noticing your mind, acknowledging any busy thoughts that you have from the morning, and let them go. Free your mind up for the next hour of self-care and self-love in your yoga practice. As you tune into your body, thinking about your intention for your practice, it may be something like tuning into the positive new energy for July, or it may be about being grateful or opening up your heart. Whatever it is that resonates with you today, bringing that with you through your practice. Remembering to look after yourself. If there's any part of the practice that doesn't feel right, or you don't feel that your body can do it, just always relax into child's pose or Savasana and then join back in when you're ready. This is your practice and we're different on every day, so really listening and tuning into your body. Let's take another 5 or 6 breaths in child's pose as we surrender to the earth's energy. And when you're ready, coming into a seated position, a comfortable seated position. You may be sitting with your legs crossed, or you may be sitting on your haunches. Let's begin the practice with an Om. You may join me if you wish, but you don't have to. We'll take a deep breath in, and then we'll let go. Another deep breath in. Bringing the hands to heart center. Om. Okay. Just checking that you can all hear me and see me okay. Just give me the thumbs up. Great. Thank you. Okay, so we'll go into a cat-cow position. And we just start to move our spine as we inhale, lifting up through the chest, lifting our gaze. And as we exhale, rounding out our spine, lifting it up towards the ceiling. Just continuing through that movement. As you exhale, as you round out your spine, looking through your knees towards your feet. Continue on for another 5 or 6. As we warm up, have a little bit of movement right through all of the spine. So a little bit of movement in a lot of places. And then coming back to your neutral position again. And we're going to do some alternate leg and arm races. So as we inhale, we're going to take our left leg up and our right leg and our right hand out. So nice and elongated, lengthening through the spine. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring our knee towards our elbow into tiger curl. And then inhale back out again on the same side. Let's continue on for another 4 on this side. Just moving with your breath. Try and keep your body nice and stable. Imagine you've got a bowl of water on your back that you don't want to spill. And then coming into the extended position. And then we're going to take our arm back and try and hook it around your foot. And then lift up. If you can't quite reach, then you can have your hand a little bit away. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Just really lifting through the heart, feeling that nice stretch through the front of the leg. And then exhaling and bringing the hand and foot back to your mat. And coming into a child's pose for a couple of breaths, just to even out our breathing again. And then coming back into all 4s, and we'll move to the other side. So this time we're going to inhale and lift our left hand and our right knee. Really extending through the foot and the hand. And as we exhale, bringing that knee towards the elbow in tiger curl. And then inhale back out again. Continuing on for 4 more. Moving at your pace with your breath. And then extending out and bringing that left hand back around your right foot, lifting up through the chest, pulling the hand against the foot, opening up through our heart and through the front of the right quad. 1 more breath here. And then release the hand back to the mat and the knee back to the mat. And let's go back into child's pose for 3 breaths, just to even out our breath again. And then when you're ready, coming back up into all 4s. And we're going to tuck our toes under and open up our hands, pressing against the earth and taking our hips up towards the ceiling into our first downward dog. So as you come up into the downward dog, relaxing into the pose, paddling your heels down towards the mat, lengthening the back of your legs and lengthening the muscles down through your calves and your Achilles and stretching the muscles underneath your feet. Take 3 more deep breaths here. Just evening out your breath, relaxing into the pose, a gentle stretch helping to warm up your body. And then on your next inhalation, lifting up your left leg up into a three-legged dog, or you can stay in a normal downward dog if you prefer. And then taking that left foot across to the right side into scorpion and feeling that opening out through the left hip. 2 breaths here, and then bringing that foot back down to earth and coming back to child's pose and resting, catching your breath again. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. Surrendering into the energy. And then on your next inhalation, coming back up to all 4, opening out through your hands and tucking your toes under. And we're going to lift our hips up towards the ceiling into downward dog again. And stretching that out again through the back of the legs. You may notice you have a little bit more movement this time. Feeling that stretch through the shoulders and the legs. Take 3 more breaths here. And then on your next inhalation, taking the right foot up to the ceiling into a 3-legged dog. And then taking the right foot across to the left side. Opening up through that right hip. Here for 3 breaths. Nice work, everyone. And then gently bringing that right foot back down to the mat and bring your knees back down and back into child's pose, just to rinse out and even out your breath again. And then when you're ready, coming into a position where you're standing on your knees, and we're going to take our right foot forward into a half crescent lunge. So if you've got any knee issues, you may want to put a blanket or something underneath your knee. We're going to inhale and lift our chest and lift our gaze up into a half crescent lunge. We'll stay here for 3 breaths, feeling that opening through the left hip, having your right knee stacked on top of your right ankle. And then taking your arms back into Warrior 2 for 3 breaths here. And then on next inhalation, going to lift the right hand and take the left hand down to the left foot. Gazing up at the left hand, we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. So nice and strong through the legs, feeling that nice stretch through the left quad and the left hip. And then bring your hands to framing your front foot. And we're going to, I'll just turn around so you can see. So bring your hands just inside that front foot. So you have your hands inside your knee. So this is a lizard pose. So from this, we're going to just do some little circles and feel that opening out through the right hip. Can slide your left knee back a little bit to intensify that stretch a little bit. Good. And then taking the right knee back to all 4s. And we'll go back down into child's pose, just rinsing out the stretch through the glute and the hip area for 3 breaths. Surrendering into the energy. Feeling that nice stretch through the lower back, through the upper back and shoulders and arms. And then on next inhalation, coming up to all 4s. And this time we're going to take the left foot forward. And we're going to inhale and bring our arms up. As we do that, we're taking our right hip forward as well, noticing a stretch through the right hip flexor. Good, so our hips and our chest is nice and square. And then taking our hands back into Warrior Two, here for three breaths, gazing towards our left hand. And then on the next inhalation, we're going to lift that left hand up, keeping our gaze towards the left hand, and drop our right hand down to our right heel, looking up towards the ceiling. It's quite a strong pose on the legs, noticing that stretch through the right quad and the right hip. 2 more breaths here. And then release. Bringing your hands down beside the left foot, taking the left foot a little bit out to the side and dropping the right knee back a little bit into lizard pose. And we're going to move in a little circle there, just opening through the hip on the left side. Here for a couple of breaths. Good. And then taking that left knee back with the right knee, opening up knees nice and wide and feet nice and close, and we'll go back into child's pose for 3 more breaths. Surrendering back to the earth again. Taking 3 nice deep breaths, rinsing that energy and that movement through your body. And then inhaling and coming up to a standing position. So we're going to do a little bit of Warrior One into an airplane pose. So we're going to, I'll just show you here. So we're coming towards the back of our mat. And we're going to step forward with the right foot. And we're going to inhale and lift our arms up. Just feeling that nice stretch through the left hip. Staying here for 2 more breaths. Nice, so lifting your gaze, lifting your chest. And then we're going to bring our weight forward onto our right leg. And we're going to take our hands back into an aeroplane pose. So at this point, we've still got our left toe on the ground. Now, when you're ready, you can make sure that your right foot is nicely opened out so that the toes are spread nice and wide, so you've got a nice grounding. And then when you're ready, you can lift that left foot up from the mat and coming into aeroplane. And we're going to be here for 3 breaths. Finding a gaze point towards the top of your mat. And then gently bringing your hands down to the mat with your foot still up in the air. So we're back into a single leg with the left leg in the air. And then we're going to bring the left leg down next to the right foot. So in a forward fold, staying here for 5 breaths, noticing the nice stretch through the back of the legs. Letting your head fall heavy, chest fall heavy, feeling that nice stretch through the lower back and through the back of the legs. So 3 more breaths. And then inhale, bring your arms all the way up into mountain pose and hands back to Anjali Mudra. Then we're going to step back to the back of our mat. And this time we're going to step forward with our left foot. So we'll do the other side. And we're going to inhale. We're going to lift our hands up, bending our front legs. The front leg is knees bent over the ankle. Lifting our gaze, lifting our chest. Noticing the stretch through our right hip flexor this time. Getting nice and steady on our feet. Opening up the toes in the left foot. Feeling nice and grounded. Then we're going to bring our weight forward onto that left foot, but keep the right toe on the ground. Bring our hands back. And then when you're ready, you can lift up into an aeroplane pose. And we're going to stay there for 3 breaths. So find your gazing point, get nice and steady, and then lifting up. You may find one side is better than the other. And then taking your hands down to the mat with that right foot still in the air for a couple of breaths. And then return that right foot back next to the left foot into a forward fold, letting your head fall heavy and your chest fall heavy. I'm going to stay here for 5 breaths. And then coming up on your next inhalation, bring your hands all the way up to the sky. And then hands back to Anjali Mudra. Well done. Okay, from here we're going to do our sun salute, and we'll do 3 rounds today. So this was a nice energizing part of the practice. Just going to adjust this a little bit. So coming to the top of your mat, inhale, bring your arm up, raising your gaze, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lifting our chest, lifting our gaze, and exhale, stepping back either to a high plank, or if you want to put your knees down into a low plank. And then we're slowly going to lower our body by bending our elbows down to the ground, untuck our toes, and then inhale, lifting through the chest, lifting the gaze into an upward dog. And then tucking our toes under and pressing up into a downward dog. Then we're going to lift our eyes forward towards our hands and step our feet forward into a forward fold. Inhale, lift up through the chest, flattening out the spine. Exhale, drawing your chest in towards your legs. And then inhale, coming all the way back up. And hands back to Anjali Mudra. Nice, so let's go 2 more of those. So I will walk you through it, but feel free to come through at your own pace as well. So I'm going to inhale, lift up. And exhaling, folding forward. And then inhale, lift through the spine. Exhale, draw the chest in towards the legs. And then stepping back into high plank. Slowly lowering the body down to the mat. And then inhale, lifting up into upward dog. And exhale, tucking the toes under, up into downward dog. And then moving the gaze towards the hand and stepping forward. And then into a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, drawing the chest towards the body. And inhale, coming all the way back up again. And hands back to Anjali Mudra. Just taking a couple of breaths here. We've got 1 more round to go. So we're going to inhale, lift our gaze, lift our hands, stretching towards the ceiling. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. And then exhale, hugging your chest towards your legs. And then we're going to exhale, step back into our high plank. Slowly lowering the body to the ground. And then inhale into an upward dog. Tucking the toes under. Exhale to downward dog. Raising your gaze towards your hands. Stepping forward into a forward bend. Inhale. Raising your spine, raising your chest. Exhale, hugging your chest to your legs. And then inhale, coming all the way back up. And back to Anjali Mudra. Nice work. We're going to find our way down to the mat now. Down to a seated position with our legs out in front. Just get this way. Okay. So we're going to do the seated version of a forward fold. This is called Paschimottanasana. So we're going to inhale, lifting our hands, and exhale, we're going to fold forward, bringing your hands to your toes or your ankles or your shins, whatever works for you, and taking your gaze towards your big toe. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. So as you're stretching forward, each time you exhale, just relaxing a little bit more into the forward fold, keeping the gaze at your toes. One more breath here. Then we're going to release. Bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra and just have a little bit of movement in the spine. And then we're going to go into a similar pose, but this time with a little twist. We're going to take the left hand towards the outside of the right foot. So it's inhale, lifting up, and exhale, folding forward. So taking the left hand to the outside of the right foot or the right ankle or calf. And then the right hand's going to go to the back of the room. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. So feeling a stretch through that right leg, through the hamstrings, and a little bit of a twist. And one more deep breath here. And then inhale, bring both hands up. And back to Anjali Mudra. And then we're going to inhale, coming up again. We're going to take our right hand to our outside of our left foot. And our right hand back, keeping the gaze at the right foot. Here for 3 breaths, and each time you exhale, surrendering a little bit more into the pose. And noticing the stretch down the hamstring of the left leg and a little bit of a twist in the lower back. One more breath here. And then inhale, bring the arms back up to Anjali Mudra. Nice. Then we're going to lay down onto our back with our legs bent into Uttanasana. And we're going to rinse out our spine from the twist that we've done. Some gentle movement, rocking your lower back, your lumbar spine in a clockwise direction. And then going back the other way. Just releasing any tension in your lower back. And then gently taking your feet down to the mat and bringing the feet close to the buttocks. And then the next position we're going to do is a bridge pose. So this time we're going to inhale and lift up through our hips, taking them up to the ceiling. And you can leave your hands face down on the mat, palms down, or you can take your hands underneath you in a clasp position. Tuck your shoulders under a little more and lift up a little higher. So lifting up and squeezing your buttocks and bringing your chin to chest. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. So feeling that nice stretch through the front of the body, through the legs, through the shoulders. And releasing your lower back. One more breath here. Then we're going to release our hands and slowly lower our spine down to the mat and hugging our knees up to our chest. Exhale as we hug the knees in, and inhale as we release them away from our body. Just hugging in and releasing out. And then we're going to go into an inversion with our legs up. So you can have your legs up against the wall or the side of a bed or a chair, whatever you have in your room. Or you can go into a half shoulder stand. And we're going to take our legs up now. And we're going to stay there for 10 breaths. Having your legs feel nice and light, giving your ankles a little bit of circling, moving your legs about. Just taking some nice deep breaths. Softening your eyes and enjoying the inversion. If you have your legs up the wall, you might like to take them out wide. You can even have your feet, soles of your feet facing each other. If you're in a half shoulder stand, you might like to drop your feet over your head and bring your toes down towards the ground. Stretching out the spine. One more breath here. And then we're going to slowly lower our body down towards the mat. And rolling over onto our tummy. So we're going to bring our hips, lifting them up a little bit, and place our hands, palms up underneath the hips, getting comfortable there. And we're going to inhale and we're going to lift our feet up into locust pose. So inhale, lifting the feet up and lifting your head a little bit. Staying here for 3 breaths. Squeezing through the buttocks. And then gently release. Bring your forehead down towards the mat. Your arms out in front. Stretching them out. And then we're going to take our hands behind us, either straight behind or clasping our hands together. And we're going to inhale, we're going to lift up through the chest, but keep our feet on the floor this time. And this is snake pose. We can stay here for 3 breaths. And then releasing our hands back to the mat. We're going to continue on into a half boat pose. So this time we're going to reach back our right hand towards our left leg. So bending at the left knee. And we're going to inhale and lift up. So lengthening through the chest, feeling that stretch through the front of the left leg. Nice work. And then release. And release our hand back to the mat. Just bending our legs and just moving our legs from side to side, moving our feet from side to side, releasing through the hips and the lower back. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So this time we're going to take our left hand back, bend our right knee and reach back to that right foot. And then we're going to inhale and lift up, feeling that stretch through the right quad and the left shoulder. You've nearly got it, Penny. You're about 1 inch away. Good work. few more breaths here, and then release. And just moving our feet from side to side again, releasing through the lower back. And then for those who would like to try, we're going to go into a full boat pose this time. So we're going to reach back our left hand to our left foot and our right hand to our right foot. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale and we're going to lift our chest and lift up through our legs. And you might find as you breathe, you're rocking a little bit here. In this pose, I'm going to stay here for 3 breaths. And then gently release, bringing your knees back down to the mat, releasing your feet, releasing your hands. And then we're going to come into a child's pose. Just rinsing out all of that movement. So bringing your heels, your buttocks down to your heels, walking your hands forward, bringing your forehead down to the mat, taking 3 breaths here. And then coming up, tucking your toes under, come up into downward dog. Just rinse this out for 5 breaths, walking your heels down towards the mat, noticing how your body feels now compared to how it was at the beginning of the practice. And then bringing your knees down to the mat. A couple of cat-cows here. Just rinsing out our spine after all of that deep movement that we had through the locust and the snake in the boat pose. And then coming into a position, so laying down on your mat and get yourself nice and comfortable for your yoga nidra. So if you have a blanket or an eye pillow, feel free to use that. Getting really comfortable. Relaxing into Savasana. So laying on your back with your arms beside you. Taking 3 deep, relaxing breaths, relaxing your body on each breath. Be aware of the sounds in the distance, moving your awareness from sound to sound without attempting to identify the sound. Be aware of your physical body lying in Savasana. Notice your alignment, your chin lower than your forehead. Your spine aligned, your arms close to the body, fingers away from the floor. Becoming aware of your natural breath and keeping it spontaneous. Repeat your resolve, your intention that you created at the beginning of your practice. Repeating it 3 times with feeling rotating your consciousness around your body, starting with your right hand, your thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side trunk, hip, thigh, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of the foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake and move your attention to the left side of your body. Your left hand, thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake, moving your attention to the back of your body, your heels, back of your legs, buttocks, back, shoulder, arms, hands, your whole spine, neck, back of your head, crown of your head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, center of your eyebrow, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, right nostril, left nostril, lips, chin, throat, chest, 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 abdomen, 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 pelvis, pelvis, pelvis. Becoming aware of your breath, counting back from 17 to 0. Checking your awareness that you're still awake. Awakening the feeling of warmth within your body. Your whole body is warm. Your arms are warm. Your legs are warm. Your whole body is warm. Now awakening the feeling of coolness within your body. Imagine your whole body is cool. Your arms are cool. Your legs are cool. Bringing your awareness to the front of your closed eyes and imagine the following objects as they are named. A setting sun, the autumn leaves, a red rose, beautiful garden, the light in the trees, a rich blue sky, a rainbow, the sound of the ocean, the new fronds on a palm, the smell of the rain, a sunset, now's the time to repeat your intention 3 times. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel your body resting in Savasana, aware of the room that you're in and your surrounds, the floor, the walls, the ceiling, the windows. Recall the time of day and know that the practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to an end. I will chime the singing bowl once. The practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. Gently bringing your arms up above your head, having a little stretch, rolling to one side, taking a couple of breaths. You can stay there and relax if you want, or you can come up to a seating position. Thank you for your beautiful energy today. You've all shared some wonderful energy at the beginning of our new month, helping to raise all of our vibrations and the vibrations of everybody around us that comes into contact with us. You're here for each other and our beautiful yoga community. acknowledging the great work that you do here, that you do for yourself in your yoga practice. Let's close the practice with an Om to thank it for supporting our space. You can join me if you wish, but you don't have to. So we'll take a big breath in and release it. Another breath in. Om. Bring your hands to your forehead for kind thoughts and to your lips for kind words and to your heart for a kind heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. That was great. Take yourselves off mute and